got a great topic for Coach Jason Brown, JB. Thank you for joining me. Cormani Mcclain, Deion's top recruit, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, the greatest coach in the history of college football, the new Nick Saban. You know that, Deion Sanders. His top recruit from last year, Cormani Mcclain, has hit the transfer portal. He has said he wants to play for a real team that's not about clicks. Let's watch Cormani and his little farewell statement to Colorado.
I'm just ready to bring the old version of me out and change the narrative of everyone's thinking on my name. Be a part of a real and a great program that's going to impact me at my best ability. And yeah, ready to get to a new place and get to work. Yeah, I feel like I just don't want to play for clicks. I actually want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. With that being said, that'll wrap up all the questions asked from you guys. Appreciate everyone for sticking around. And everything is in God's hands right now.
They're playing for clicks and giggles at Colorado, according to Cormani. JB, your thoughts here. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? What do we make of this?
Look, his high school coaches also made a release and came out with some statement saying that, I tried to help the kid. I can't no longer defend this kid. I tried to help him, etc. So I'm trying to give you devil's advocate from both sides as a former coach and player. I've had these type of kids that I don't want to put my name on when promoting them to four-year coaches or institutions. So we've had these type of kids. And then the other flip side of it is to defend the kid is he is a IEP kid, meaning he needs an individual education plan. And he's probably, ADHD, whatever. We all have it. I had it. Most of my players all had IEPs. Having said that, I don't know how well Deion's evaluation of his so-called five-star talent or talent in general is, because knowing that I'm going to take a five-star kid out of high school who has high accolades and praise because he's basically had his butt kissed his entire life because he's a great player. You have to know these things as the head coach. And I'm taking that kid in knowing he's going to be a work in progress. I'm not going to kiss his butt like his high school coaches or other people have done. But on the same note, I have to know he only knows what he knows and doesn't know what he doesn't know. So I got to coach and teach this kid. I have to be a mentor to this kid. I have to coach him up, not only on the field, but in life. I am very confused as to all the people out here who have no clue about coaching and playing, who are praising and labeling Deion Sanders as the greatest thing in the coaching world since sliced bread. That is the issue I'm having. Like Luke Skywalker, Two Live Crew Luke comes out. Deion has been the best thing ever for black kids in the football world. And I'm looking at what? He's coached 3 years, and I'm trying to figure out, other than a celebrity and a figurehead, where's the coaching come in at? Because we know he's a great player, top 5 ever, in my opinion. Coaching, though, another ball game. I don't think we know how to separate the two, Jason, and especially the
Whoa, JB. You didn't see the scene? What's the receiver's name? Jimmy something or other that
Horn?
Deion told him about his dad in prison.
Jimmy Horn.
And then he had that great second half. Yeah, Jimmy Horn. Remember, you didn't see that video Well-Off Media put out where Deion said, hey, your dad's in prison and you got to do this and that. You don't think that's great coaching, JB? I mean, Vince Lombardi, this is what all the greats do.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. People keep talking about me because I have Matt on my show and I talk about Deion in Colorado a lot. Well, guess why? They give us a lot of content to talk about. I don't see this at any other big-time school. If they're going to put it out there, we're going to use it. I think people need to understand that, because if we don't cover it, Jason, guess what? Someone is. And I'm like, well, if not me, then who? I'm going to do it. And so are you. And so is everyone else. They don't understand the difference between opinions, which we all should be able to have, and hating. I have my own professional opinion, as do you. Hating, and in my opinion, has two different things. I have not assassinated his character. I haven't done any of that. I'm strictly judging him on coaching and raising young boys and turning them into men. Nothing else. And I get hated on every day because I'm supposedly the hater. No, I'm the truth teller, and you can't handle the truth. And I'm just telling you that we need to pump our brakes on this anointing of Deion as the greatest thing since sliced bread in this coaching world. He's not. He has a lot to prove yet.
Let me help you with the point you're making in terms of, look, a 5-star kid who's had his rear end kissed, you know that going through the recruiting process. You've talked to the coaches, you've talked to teachers at the school, you've talked to the people around him. You got to get a profile of this kid. And particularly with 5-star athletes, take someone like me who grew up with Jeff George. Now Jeff George, there's been as good of quarterback prospect coming out of high school, but none better. There have been some as good, but none better. This kid coming out, particularly in that era, as a pocket passer, was flawless. There was a way Jeff George was treated. Again, every coach has to understand that and get on board with that if you're going to get the best out of him. And so I think I said this in real time when Deion mid-season started talking about Cormani and the problems they were having. And I was like, man, I don't know if this is how you deal with a 5-star kid. And I'm talking about all. Anyway, let's play the clip. I want you to watch Deion, and this was during last season, talking about some of the struggles they were having with Cormani.
Cormani seeing the field was up to Cormani. I wonder if you could elaborate on what you want to see him do, one. And two, did he help his case?
Study, prepare.
Late against
Study,
Oregon?
prepare, be on time for meetings. Show up to the darn meetings. Understand what we're doing as a scheme. Want to play this game. Desire to play this game. Desire to be the best in this game. At practice, in the film room, and on your own free time. You do know that I check film time for each player upon the week. Thursday, I need film times from the whole staff so I can see who's been preparing. And that's just not about Cormani. That's about a multitude of them. So if I don't see that you would be a fool to put somebody out there and they're unprepared.
So here's the issue I had with Deion at that time and still do rewatching the clip. Everybody knows what Deion was about as a player with immense talent in college, in the pros. Deion kind of did what he wanted to do. Deion as a coach, he's not the most timely person. As we heard from the Colorado kids that I brought here to Nashville and interviewed, they sat through a meeting where Deion no-showed them. And, what Deion calls timely is whenever Deion shows up, you're on time. And so these type statements with a kid that's been pampered like that, with that much talent, it just hits different than you think. And so he's the tough guy coach, but is he really in position to be that tough guy coach when we know so much about Deion and we know so much about prime time and we know so much about his behavior as a head coach? That's where I think Deion runs into trouble.
I got an interesting take for you on this because I made a viral video last week about his son who came at me about, I don't know if you saw it, but he said, "This we don't want anyone that thinks this is last chance you." Obviously addressing the Netflix documentary that I was in. So I addressed him as well on my show. And I said, well, son, you are very sadly confused because you are actually in JUCO. This is JUCO that Division I level has ever been. It's as JUCO as it will ever be, it will ever get. And we have never seen anything like this. This is a 2-year rotational mercenary business at the 4-year level right now, We are taking kids from other schools like a JUCO. We are trying to get them ready for the next level like a JUCO. And we are taking kids with baggage. We are taking damaged goods kids. We are taking players that got kicked out of another school. We are taking all these kids. It is clearly JUCO. So my take is that when this becomes JUCO and you say, this is where Deion lacks experience, and this isn't hating, this is the truth. When you have a JUCO caliber kid like Cormani is, meaning that he's coming in, 5-star kid and all that, but guess what? You expect him to watch film on his own? This is JUCO, Jason. You have to walk these kids through every aspect, especially a kid with disabilities and learning disabilities. You think he knows how to evaluate film and watch it on his own? You think he understands the difference between a 3-step drop and a 5-step drop as far as the route concepts go in college? We have to coach that up, teach it. And I understand he knows 3-step stuff, but I'm just making a point. He has to have a coach and a teacher around him watching film, just like all these dudes do. This is a mercenary business now. It's not, I love to go to Colorado and play college football. You think kids from Florida want to go to Boulder? This is a pay-to-play mercenary business, and it's JUCO that it's like I've never seen. And for Shiloh to come out and say, oh, we don't want last chance you kids. You are last chance you. You film everything. You're an absolute joke. You rather show you in playing a video game than you watching film and playing in practice. And it's a complete mockery. And don't film it then, or don't victimize. Don't be the victim, Shiloh. If you're gonna talk it, then walk it. Like that's all I gotta say. And that's why I've been on this thing about it's JUCO. These kids, Jason, don't know how to do anything. They know what they know and don't know what they don't know. Yet we want them to watch film on their own. I find that the lack of experience as a head coach, because in this business, and I saw you post something, you don't know the difference between a great team with depth and not. You're losing O-line. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, you have to understand, most great teams have 15 legitimate D linemen, 15 O linemen, 5 sets of rotational players up front. These guys, I'm telling you, it's just not conducive for success. And we're building laterally, Jason. We're not building vertically. And I could easily see him leaving after his kids leave. His daughter's already left. It is what it is. I'm just tired of seeing the anointing that this guy has been around 30 years coaching or something that we must have missed. He was also at Barstool, NFL Network, and everyone tries to say he was coaching during those times. I never heard of a part-time coach, Jason, being successful. I didn't know I could go to Fox or wherever, do my job, and then go be a full-time coach. It doesn't work. So everyone that says he did both, no, you didn't do both. You do one or the other. You're a part-time coach, and that's not good coaching. So now he's a full-time coach, which we don't know if that's really the case because, like you said, does he show up on time? Does he do the things he's asking? We don't know. I'm just tired of saying that he's a great coach. He's a great player. He still has a resume to write up here.
JB, I love your JUCO point. It's 1,000% on target. That is what we've turned Division I Power 5 football into. And it's trickled down to all the schools, even the mid-majors and heck, even Division II, III. Everybody's just moving around. There are no 4- and 5-year players. And what's even amazing about your point, that you can go a step further. And with Shiloh and just say, Shiloh, you are the stereotypical JUCO player. In high school, you beat up a guy, a security guy, so bad that he had to have surgery. You fit the profile like, man, Division I schools, let's be afraid of this kid. He can't control his emotions. You've played at South Carolina. You've played at Jackson State. You're now at Colorado. You're 24 years old, I believe, or 23. So, I mean, you've been involved in college football for a long time. And it's like, this is the JUCO profile. You are actually it. This is Last Chance U. I think, didn't they say that 80% of Colorado's roster is transfers? Where most other, I think Mike Farrell's saying most other of the Power Fives, 30 to 40% of their roster is transfers. 80% of Colorado's is transfer. Your JUCO analogy is 1,000% on point, JB.
Here's the other issue. In JUCO, you go get the best talent, not necessarily the best character. You're getting the best talent to move them on and try to teach them some character. So when they go to the four-year school, they actually understand it and won't get kicked out. That's why I never had a kid get kicked out of a four-year after leaving me or going to jail. Here's the issue. Like when you teach them this is football jail, like a JUCO is, and you have to get out, meaning I got my eyes on the horizon, and it's optimistically speaking, I can think of greater things. I want to go to a big time Alabama or something like that. Well, you're now at Colorado. You're at the JUCO, and you're trying to see if you can get to an Alabama. And that's just what Cormani did. This is what other guys are doing. They get there and they see that it's a JUCO, and then they go, oh, I want to go to Alabama, a real program. That's what the kid said, not me. So if you hear what they're saying and you take a kid's words with a grain of salt, as we should, because I don't trust any of them. And then if you look at the coach who lacks experience in Deion Sanders in this space, yes, we know how great of a player he is, but he gets a pass for being a player when it comes to coaching. You don't give coaches passes. Results are results. It's a results-oriented business. It's not a flip the coin and, 4-8. Let's see this year. They probably go 8-4. No, that's not how it works. I'm going from what I see. And you can't build a program, Jason, laterally, meaning I don't recruit Colorado high schools. I'm not here for the long run because I clearly don't want to build a vertical program. I want to build a lateral one to see my kids get through it. I want to bring a bunch of mercenaries, meaning bodyguards for my kids, meaning I need to get the best players around Shiloh, the best around Shador, the best around Travis Hunter for a short period of time so I can get them guys statistics to get to the NFL. That's JUCO. I mean, it's cut and dried. It's not even close. But I'm the one that's the bad guy and the hater. No, I'm just telling you the truth. And this is Truth Bomb Monday because I'm just telling you, I've been saying it on my show. This is the facts. And Jason, to be honest, to go even deeper, here's the issue that no one wants to discuss. JUCO's imploding in front of our very eyes because the lackluster requirements in academics at the high school level, you no longer need an ACT, SAT. Now, COVID has created this whole issue where now kids in high school, by the way, who's one of the people that I know that actually ranked these players in high school with their stars, actually made a good point on my show today. People that are giving these kids their stars, Jason, never played the game. It's like me listening to Mina Kimes tell me about three-step drop. I don't want to hear it. Stop. These kids are getting graded and putting stars on their names because some kid is 6'8" and goes to IMG Academy, but this person has not a clue that he's really raw and not really mature. And I'm going to give him a 5-star bill. Guess what? He's not. We're misgrading him at an all-time high. And then we got kids not graduating or not getting scholarships because of their academics, meaning they don't have to pass a test. And the school says, hey, I can get you in school with a 2.0. And then that kid goes, well, can I get a scholarship? Well, not this year, son, because we got enough guys out of the portal. I'm going to wait. You're going to wait a year. Well, guess what? Usually that kid would go JUCO. Now he's not. He's sitting around in a portal. Then you got all the portal kids who usually would go JUCO. Instead, they're sitting in a portal. JUCO is losing right now at an all-time rate. And I just had an administrator at the house that says, JUCO, I don't see it lasting more than 3 and 4 years. And when JUCO goes away, Jason, you're going to see a huge shift. at the 4-year level because JUCO is needed for many, many things. And now you're going to lose a complete different – that entity is gone. Now you have high school kids you're not recruiting, that you're not developing, and JUCO's gone. Guess what you have? D3, Division II, NAIA. And that's not conducive for success at a 4-year Power 5 institution.
JB, thank you for taking the time. Enjoyed the conversation. We'll see you next time. Great job, JB. This segment was brought to you by our good friends at Good Ranchers. Good Ranchers is locking in your price until 2026 when you subscribe to any of their boxes of 100% American meat and seafood. Use my promo code FEARLESS at goodranchers.com and save 10%. Thank you for watching. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with all of our latest content.